The world is really, really different today than it was from even a few years ago, and so we see just an explosion of data that's being created by mobile, social, video applications, Internet of Things, connected devices everywhere, and the scale is unprecedented. That scale could be as much as 6 or 7 zettabytes of data that needs to be stored in the cloud by the year 2020. That amount of data is about 85 million years of high-def video playback. Today's storage architectures were designed literally decades ago for a very different use case, not for a globally distributed, large-scale cloud architecture and environment. Kinetc Open Storage Platform takes traditional hard drives and adds 2 key elements. The first is an object storage protocol, and the second is Ethernet. And the combination of those 2 things lets the entire storage architecture become much more efficient. So whereas in the past you would have object storage applications that needed to translate down through file systems to blocks and sectors and guess about where to lay out data on the device, now you have an object storage application that can simply put and get keys, its objects, to the device, and the device handles the space management, which is exactly what it knows best. Storage application still does everything it does, but now the device is a little bit smarter to enable a much more efficient stack. The second thing we've added is Ethernet. And Ethernet lets you put these storage devices anywhere on your network. And so the combination of those 2 things lets the whole architecture be much more streamlined, where you have object storage applications speaking directly to devices over the existing fabric of the data center, Ethernet. Primary benefits of the Kinetc Open Storage Platform are really total cost of ownership, performance, and architectural agility. So on the total cost of ownership side, the impact comes from having storage applications now able to talk directly to storage over the object protocol and over Ethernet. And that lets us pull storage servers out of racks. You fill that space up with additional devices and you end up with the most dense possible racks of storage at the best possible economics. That has to do with pulling the capital cost of storage servers out of the rack and decreasing the operating expense associated with those servers, both in the form of power and human data center maintenance costs. The benefit of that could be as much as 50% total cost of ownership at the data center level. In addition, we have a much more performant architecture because, again, you've removed those file systems and the data literally streams to the storage device as it's written. The device lays it out optimally in the background. Performance benefit may, in some cases, be as much as 4 times that of a traditional architecture. The third benefit is architectural agility, and that comes from having changed the semantic abstraction to the device. What that does is let us innovate within the device much more rapidly, and it eliminates the very tight coupling of host systems and devices that's existed in the past, which lets the whole thing scale much more flexibly and with a much faster pace of innovation. So combined, we have significant total cost of ownership benefits, we have a more performant system, and we have a much more flexible and agile architecture overall. Those 3 things are really the key benefits that are going to enable this architecture to deliver object storage at the scale we need to at a much lower economic profile. For more information about the Seagate Kinetc Open Storage Platform, white papers, technical documentation, as well as the full open source code from both us and some of our key open source software partners, please go here.